All right. Good evening, everybody. Today's Saturday, January 13th. Welcome to my little live stream. Welcome to anybody on the playback. Thanks for watching. We already got somebody here. Highland Honey, how you doing today? That name looks familiar. Looks familiar. I'm sure I've seen it here before. But yeah, I haven't been live for a while, so I thought I'd just hop on, see who wants to talk about talk about anything really, bees or anything going on. There's really not much to talk about over here. It's just cold and terrible and windy and just wet. Um, the only thing that might be interesting, if anybody comes in and wants to talk about it, is the recent um, convention down there in Kentucky that I was at for a couple of days. Had a really good time. So if anybody else was there and wants to come in and talk about it or tell me their favorite parts or what they did, we can do that. Just hop on. Oh, I'm gonna put the link in here. Man, I don't even remember how to do that. Let me see. I'll show you a couple things I got. I watched a ton of videos and about the honeybee expo. I'm really looking for myself walking around. Let me see. There's the link there. As long as it's somebody I know, they can come right in on screen. Let's see. It's 10 Fahrenheit right now. It's supposed to be near -10. Yeah, right now I'm not sure what it is, but it's just windy, just so windy. The trees are just rocking. And now temperature definitely dipped down, but this has been a really mild winter for us. The only snow we had was while I was gone. And when I came back, there was a little bit left, and it's gone now. Oh, okay, so you were there. I wonder, you were there at the thing. I wonder if I know what you look like if I saw you there. I did have a couple people talk to me, but man, I'm just so terrible with names, and I really got to meet somebody a bunch of times. Not a bunch of times, but a good few times to really remember who they are. Maybe I got bopped on the head too many times. But let's see. The one thing that's cool, anybody who was there got these pink frames, which I really just think that was a genius idea. Like that was just genius because they're so different. They just stand out so bad. Not in a bad way, but they stand out. So as soon as I saw them, I was just like, man, what the heck are those? Is that some kind of new kind of frame? And I just thought they're really cool. If I would have had a way of getting more, they were giving you a good bunch of them. And those were from Acorn. Acorn Company was set up. Let's see. Okay, yeah. See, so Highland Honey got good 5 of them. Yeah, and then there was some of the other companies were giving away stuff. The big one was, what the heck's it called? Hilco was giving away hats. Not, Hilco hats. They were giving away just so much stuff. Hive tools, just it was crazy. But since I flew down, I just had my little suitcase. I could fit that one frame in there, and then a couple little swaggy things. Let's see. Yeah, man. They had really good deals there. And as good as the deals were at the end of it, like the last hour or two, a lot of those people were not trying to take that stuff home. They were just slashing prices. People were making a killing at the end there. And I think if I would ever take a truck down, unless it was something if they were going to sell out really fast, I would just wait till the last hour or two and scoop up everything I want. Cheap boxes and frames. I got to see my friends over at B Smart Design. Got this feeder. I didn't get this at the expo. They sent me this, but this is just an example of what they had. Now, I guess these were kind of a big hit. These little, I don't use this kind of thing, so I'm going to see if I can give these away somehow. But these are to hold your, if you use pollen patties, it'll suspend them up off of the, so there's not too many contact surfaces for beetles to lay their eggs and get to where bees can't get to them. So I don't know. It's a nice little invention. They gave me a whole bunch of them. I don't use pollen patties ever. I've never actually touched one. I don't even know what they feel like. So I couldn't really use that. And I also don't feed bees, but I will. There are some feeding experiments I want to do this spring. Not really experiments, just like it'll make a funny video. Some of the stuff I want to do. So I'll use that feeder on a colony. I might give the other one away. Let's see what Highland Honey is saying here. 5.5 hour drive. See, that's not bad. Took the Suburban. Took the 2 back rows of seats out. Yeah, see, that's what you do. Yeah, man. For me, I don't know. It would be a lot, and I'm not good at driving long distances. It's only 7:37 p.m. here, and you can tell from my voice that like I'm ready to lay it down already because I got to get up at 3 for work. But yeah, those are. What else did I get? Oh, they also have this little for your hive tool. They gave me 2 of them. It's it goes through your belt loop, and then it hangs on there, and then your hive tool it has magnets, so it sticks there, so you never drop it. That's a good idea too. I'll have to try that one out. I'll give others. There's Jason. Maybe Jason will want one of those. What's up, Hickory Hives? Jason, how you doing? Hey, you wanna you want a hive tool holder? Boop. Just stick it on there. Do I even have a hive tool here? Oh no. Rodney won my hive tools, so he has the hive tools that I used to have here. Oh, look at that. Speaking of the devil, there he comes in. I normally have my hive tools here. How you doing, Rodney? Yeah, I'll try. I'm always losing them things, man. I hate that I can't keep track of them. So yeah, man, Jason missed the I keep wanting to call it the festival, the bee festival. But it was a good one. And yeah, I don't know, man. There was just as the I chose the thumbnail for this video, it was some type of Varroa like advertisement for some company that makes some type of treatment. Which, like I always have to say 1,000 times, I don't care who treats their bees, but if you're a bee treating person, you would have really loved that thing, because you would have loved the expo, because man, people were just taking pallets of, what side is this? Whatever, Apivar, Oxy, man, just pallets and pallets of treatment-y stuff, loading it into their trucks, and you couldn't like turn any direction, not see some type of mite fighting thing. If it wasn't some type of thing you're putting in your hive, it's some type of queens they were selling, or like all kinds of contraptions and stuff. Which I mean, hey, whatever you want to do is fine with me. Oh man, oh thank goodness! Look at that, Ronnie coming in with the good questions. See, because I go live and I blank out. So the Apitab company, I forget what they're called. I don't care what There's some Turkish guys. I just went up to the table. Hey, how you doing? And then, man, they were just being so weird. Like, they were just acting so strange. I just said, right, I just picked one up and held it right up to him, like, this is a treatment for mites, right? And he's like, oh, and they start getting all like goofy and like awkward and nervous. No, it's just feeding. It's all natural, and we use it. And I said, no, man, I saw the videos. These people are doing where they're putting it in. I was interrogating them. I said, I've seen the videos where they put these in the hive and all these mites fall down. Oh, no. Well, that's just because of this. Nah, we can't call it a treatment. It's not a treatment. I said, dude, just, I don't care. I was like, but the problem is somebody like me say, I just want to feed something to my bees. I'm not wanting to treat my bees. I don't want to knock all the mites down and do all this kind of treatment-y stuff. I said, that would be a problem for me. And yeah, he just didn't know what to do. He didn't know. They were just so like they're on the stand, just squirming like they were under cross-examination. I didn't really have any interest in talking to them. The little things smell good though. They smell nice. Like they'd be a nice little bar of soap. They have a nice fragrance to them. I filled my carry-on bag full of 8-bit tabs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks like, I think if you touch them and rub your eyes, it'd probably burn. That's how strong they smell. But yeah, they were very shisty sounding. I forgot to say, if anybody's watching on Facebook, because I did share this to Facebook, if you want to come in here and comment, like the ones that I'm clicking on the screen here, you have to log into your own YouTube. I don't know if you can get there straight from Facebook. Maybe some phones you can. I know mine won't. If I click on a Facebook shared YouTube video, it's just like a weird window that I can't really interact with. So what else did I do there? Well, they had a list of hotels that were, I guess, like in cahoots with the whole expo, and those were all sold out. They were all sold out, and they were expensive too. And I was trying to wiggle my way into one of those hotels, but I ended up finding one like right outside the parking lot of this place. And it was really nice. It was cheap too. It wasn't even like $100 a night. It was called the Sleep Inn. Oh man, if I go next year, I wasn't even gonna go this year. As everybody knows, I was not gonna go. I figured one or both of the organizers would be in jail or at least in court fighting about something. I wasn't gonna go, but I did go because I was bored to death and I just wanted to get out of the state for a little bit. But if I do go back again next year, I'm staying right at that hotel again because that little thing was nice. And I got my stomach completely stretched out from breakfast every morning. It was real nice. Let me see. Did I enter any honey? No, just because, when you fly, you can't really take bottles of liquids on the plane. But they had something like 75 or 77 different things you could enter. It wasn't always honey. You could enter. It might even been 177 things, but it was so many things you could have entered, like cookies or maybe like some comb honey. I mean, that's pretty common. Comb honey, bottled honey, creamed honey, but you could enter like pictures, some type of like arts and crafts or whatever you can make out of a beehive. So I entered nothing at all. I mean, I could have just entered one of these and I could have ripped one in half and said, hey, it's a piece of art, but no, I didn't enter anything. No, and man, I mean, if you would have won this year, holy moly, there was a ton of entries again. And then even the little black jar, they have the little black thing honey. There was a lot more of those this year than there was last year. But I don't know. I'll have to try it next year. Hopefully Jason from Hickory Hives here we can team up and drive down again like we did last year and take some good honey jars. What the heck else did I have for show and tell? Not really much. Maybe I could run my video silently and just kind of like, in case I was talking to a buddy of mine today who said he didn't get a notification for my my live video that I did over there, which I figure YouTube really stinks now. It just totally sucks. But let me see. Maybe I don't remember if there's anything. Where's my YouTube at? Let's see. Yeah, so this is Highland Honey's first year. Yeah, I mean, I was there last year. I wasn't there. I think they did it twice before I went. And last year still was really good. I might even say last year, for me, just as because I had more, it seemed like I had more people around to talk to. Might have been a little bit better in some ways. This year it was bigger, you know. But it could get even bigger because as far as that venue, they only used half of the gigantic room. There was a whole other half that they didn't even really use. It was just tables for people to sit at and eat. They had some vendors there, a couple like food vendors, a little pizza stand, some type of fried chicken stand, and some other thing. I don't know what it was, but they were trying to gouge a living daylights out of people, in my opinion. $15 for like 2 or 3 little pieces of chicken. I don't even know. It was just like a little plate of stuff. And then even bottles of water. Like they had vending machines. A bottle of water was $5. So there was some weird kind of gouging going on for food. That's probably the one thing I would pick on because I'm a fat food person. And I want food and I don't want to be like I don't mind paying if it's really good, but it really just looked like food truck type stuff. I never handed a food truck $15 for like one pulled pork sandwich, that's like small. Or I did break down and get a slice of pizza. It was $8 and a $4 bottle of water. And the pizza really wasn't that good. It was like it was okay, but it was like school pizza. Oh yeah. So glad you brought that up. So all these, I'm telling you, here's another thing. Like if you're new and you go to this thing, the gimmicky just stuff that you don't really need, there's just so much. There's just so much crap. Like what Rodney's talking about with this bullshit ass 8-bits biologics, whatever it is. That's another kind of goofy. People are just really loading up on it though. Don't take my word for it. Like people that actually look like they knew what they were doing because they were rolling pallets of boxes out the door. Were rolling pallets of these weird supplements and stuff out the door too. So, but for me, yeah, I don't need it. I don't need any of that. You guys know that, but I'm glad you brought it up because that just it reminds me of just all the stuff that these bee business people are just trying to push on everybody, and they're falling for it. Just falling for it. Okay, so Highland Honey got the list of the stuff they had. Yeah, okay, it was empanadas. Yeah, it was so you know what I'm talking about. It was like a little row of these kind of portable little stands and up against the wall, and there was, I would say, had to be 100 tables, 100 little round tables with like nobody sitting at them. So that was the whole right, other side of that big giant compartment, like that whole big venue. So next year they might as well just fill that in with more bee people, bee stuff, or get some good food or something, or like put a whole bunch of food in a different room and like make it normal, or let the bee people set up food, because I'm sure a ton of these people in the bee community could bring some cool food from their like wherever part of the country they're from and set it up and not try to shake us down to the bank. Um, oh yeah, okay. So Jason's talking about the meal ticket, the food we had last year. That was good. I thought that was good. Um, yeah, they didn't do that this year. We had to really leave every time to go get something to eat. For people who drove, they had to keep paying every time they left the parking lot to come back in. They had to keep paying unless they bought a whole day pass. Me, I just walked to the hotel. It was like right outside the parking lot. The ticket to get just into the conference was, I think, $165. Um, so it's still reasonable. Like, that's not bad. I don't know. I guess it's kind of a weird for anybody trying to set up something like that. They have to really do some thinking about how much a ticket price is going to be, because if it's too low and not enough people buy it, they're screwed. If it's too high and it scares people away, they could be screwed again, or feel like they got ripped off. I didn't feel like I got ripped off. I thought the price was pretty good. If it's something like it just keeps going up higher and higher, like if it goes to 200 and 250, now they're going to be really that's going to be pushing it. That's going to push. I mean, I could still afford it, but that would push like normal people out. And I'm not really normal. Hive Live Fondant, there's another one. That's another one. See, now I don't really have anything against Hive Alive Fondant. I think like for the winter time, to me it looks like a good product. I haven't used it, but it's fondant. I made fondant things for my bees for like 4 colonies. That's it. And I did it similar to the way they do it, where I flattened it out, cut a hole in the bottom of the bag, and they and they ate up through the hole and then cleaned out the bag. So that was a good idea. I don't really care about all the extra stuff they put in it. Like, I guess they got hooked up with rocket fuel now or whatever. I could give a shit about that. But it looks convenient. I don't know how much they cost. I don't know. They better be cheap for me to buy. Oh, what's up? We got Frank in here. Watch out. We got Mr. 20K in here. Let's see. You need those new propolis hives. So that's another thing. Good, man. I'm glad you guys are bringing up good stuff. So yeah, that there is that new, man. I should have had that paper here. It's behind my curtain of death here behind my head. What company was that? Was that Better Bee? Or who the heck was that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're not paying me, so I don't have to get it right. But there's some company that made it's not new, but it's new to have it available from from a commercial company. Those boxes that have the really deep grooves on the inside. So I thought it was just rough cut. I thought it would be cheaper, but I said, hey, so this is cheaper, right? Because you have less work to do. You're just planing one side of the wood. But he's like, no, look at it, feel it. And they actually do cut those grooves into the wood on the inside. So what you end up with is these boxes with really deep, like, crevices in the wood, which is cool. I like it, but they wanted more money for those, like a considerable amount. I think one box was like $28.95 or something for one box, and that might have been the show price. So I don't know what the price would be if you tried to order it, from them. Could be like $35 for a box. I'm not paying that much. No, I'll just get a regular box and run my wire brush on the inside or something. Highland honey. The bees haven't touched the hive alive. I mean, that could be a good thing if they already have, they're just working on their stores, then that could be a good thing. But I don't know. It looks to me like a lot of people that use it, they work on it. Let me see. Where's my... right now I'm looking at another window here real quick. There we go. Let me pause that. Boop. Let's see. So Rodney says, oh yeah, so I do have my link up there. If anybody wants to come on, I have boxes that are rough cut lumber on one side. Yeah, I mean, that's cool to me. But I'm not paying like $30-something a box. That's crazy. Let's see, what's he say? You should sell plastic hives that allow you to slip Hive Alive fondant into the walls. What? Into the wall? So they got to go all the way to the outside to get it? I don't know about that one, Frank. You talking about in the side? Maybe you could make some type of drawer system. I don't know. I don't know if they go on the wall. But let me see if I can present. Share the screen. Oh my goodness. How do I even do this? I'm using a different thing here. Nope, not that. Wow. Oh yeah. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. No, man. I'm so terrible at this. Can I make that big like that? Here we go. Some good deals on box. Hold on. Let me put that on. Turn the volume way down. Yeah, so I don't know why it's so shaky. I really thought that I was holding my phone really, really calm, really steadily, but I wasn't. So as you can see, hold on, you can't see my mouse, but in the middle there, those boxes, I don't know. I think that's some type of, I think those are Hive Alive boxes or something. I don't know. Let's play it and see. Let me put the sound on anyway. I'm terrible. Man. Here you go, some pollen patties. Okay. So yeah, so those pollen patties, like, man, people were seriously taking a whole pallet of those things out to their truck. But if that's one thing that was made very clear there is that, like, if you think you have a lot of bees, you really got nothing compared to good most of those people. Most of those people are just huge. Like, and the funny thing is, like, for me, I don't worship like big beekeepers. People just were so impressed with like other people's shit. It was kind of funny. So somebody with like 2 or 3 hives in their backyard was they were really worshiping the ground that like that these humongous commercial type beekeepers like that they walked on. I don't know. It was really strange. So they got like a weird rise out of seeing these people. To me, it was just like, holy crap! I never want to have that many bees. All right, have a good one there, Highland Honey. Let me see. Okay, so it was Premier. How deep are the grooves? So now you're asking me for like a measurement. I would say, let me see. So I think a 1/4 inch would be way too deep. So maybe an eighth, maybe an eighth of an inch deep. Well, what's the next smallest? What's the next smallest measurement after an eighth? It's like 9/16 or something, or maybe it's 7/16. Yeah, 7. I'm not a friggin' carpenter. 3/32. 3/32 is that what it is? I mean, like just one tiny increment smaller than an eighth, because I still feel like an 1/8 inch is still a little extra deep. I don't know. But it was significant. It was like if you ran your fingers across, it's like you were playing a guitar. So let's play a little bit more of this. Yeah. That's only one little tiny part. I'm gonna make the turn over here. That's maybe 10% of it. Not even close. 5%. Ah, man, I missed it. Damn. So like right there on the left of the screen there was some other type of Varroa thing. I don't know what it was. And then let me make this thing a little bit bigger. Was it? How did I do it? Like, stupid. How about like that? Oh, okay. Let me just go back a little bit. 5%. Okay. So no, that wasn't. That's some type of swarm trap lure thing there. The blue thing. That is so shaky. That's like making my head hurt. When I first filmed this, I didn't even watch it. I'm surprised it got any views at all. There were a lot. Oh, there's these. Here's Frank's favorite table here. Yeah, there you go. That's Frank. That's Frank's favorite Apamayan. Let's see. So make the box 7/8. Like count out the boxes and make 7/8. What? Let me get rid of that. Oh. Right. Yeah, because they're 7/8 inch thick. I don't know. Maybe those boxes seemed they seemed very sturdy. Like I'm not sure what they were doing with them. But as I was saying, I don't know if it's an eighth. It might be a tiny bit smaller than an eighth. Let's see. I'll play just a little bit more. See if we see anybody. Apamon. Ape tablet. Dude is like just weird. Oh my god. I think this is Bob Benny's thing. Wow, that's so shaky. Yeah, Bob Benny had the huge setup thing. I didn't really look at it, but I could tell from the outside it was big. What is all that weird noise on my phone? Yeah, I don't think I can even take anymore. I think I just can't take anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to whoever watched that video. That was pretty bad. Yeah, that was bad. It's so shaky. I should have used my GoPro. Man. So as far as the speakers, they did. Man, this hood is really bothering me. They had a bunch of speakers, and man, who did I even watch? Of course, I went to see Randy from 620 Dirt Rooster, his presentation, which was the only one. I mean, I popped in on a lot of them, and I did sit down through a couple whole ones, but the but Randy's presentation was the only one that just, you could tell he wasn't just regurgitating the same thing that everybody else was saying. It was a lot of these, not just speakers, but everybody that you talk to, they just all sound like robots. They just keep saying the same thing over and over again. It was just like Chat GPT, but people. So when Randy was talking about his feral, the way he's studying and feral colonies and the information that he gathers and like the things that he found, it was the only presentation that sounded like it was coming from like a real person who wasn't just regurgitating stuff. Like I stepped into David Burns, and his was just like a weird pep talk. David Burns is like one of those guys that's like always trying to sound like a whippersnapper, like a young buck, and always trying to be like extra excited. And it just sounded, to me, not a fan. Who else? Who else did I see? I did see Cameron Jack too. I'll tell you about that one in a little bit. But oh cool, we got Pete Grigley. We got Pete Grigley in the green room. I'm getting ready to pop him in here in a minute. Let me just see what these people are talking about. Rodney needed a Dramamine. I need a Dramamine. Holy crap, I feel hypnotized. The Propola hive cut deep as a dime or a quarter is thick. So I would say a quarter. I'd say they're about a quarter thick, and spaced. Quarter spaced. But the grooves were like the grooves were like this. Okay, they weren't like perfect. You know what I mean? However you explain that. Sit down for an interview with the stream team. Yeah, no, that wasn't happening at all. Robin Underwood, did she speak? I think she did speak. I did hear her voice behind my head a couple times and like around me, and I kind of saw her far away, but I never did get to talk to Robin at all. I didn't get to talk to a bunch of people that I knew there. Let me bring Pete in here. Pete's gonna take a little bit of the pressure off me. How you doing tonight, Pete? Can you hear me?
Good, man. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep. You sound good. Yeah, as I was getting ready to say, my what do I say? My policy for this convention here was like, I'm just gonna kind of not just go up to people and say anything because the videos I make I might get embarrassed to go up to somebody and they can't stand me. So I just mostly just walked around, people that I already knew really well. It really wasn't a big deal.
Drama like last year? Didn't someone like threaten to like fight you or something?
There was, yeah. I mean, last year there was a couple really goofy things happen. Somebody did kind of say they can't wait to see me and this and that. Of course, that was nothing. Nothing ever happened. And then there was pretty much just one asshole who did make a video afterward. That clown wasn't there this year at all, so I don't even worry about that one. But no, there was nothing. There was no drama or anything like that this year. It was good, but I still, there was people that, just don't like me and I don't like them. So I just stayed to myself, talked to people that I did like. So what's your weather doing up there? Is it like mine? Just like goddamn.
Wind? Man, it's nuts. It's just so wet and rainy. Like it's crazy. Crazy. It's just I've never seen it like this. Usually we're getting freezes and stuff like that, but it's been upper 30s and like rainy for months.
Yeah.
We did get one snowstorm one last week. But that's it. It's been warm, really warm. So it's weird for us. Yeah. We're not used to that. But so far, I think I only had a couple colonies die so far. So the good thing about the warm weather, I could kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
They go through a lot though, I like to keep like small clusters, I try to. I can't really control that, but they're going through a lot of stores right now, especially like the late cutouts I did and late swarm catches I did. They're like bone dry.
Oh, hey Pete, look, I just changed the screen a little bit, so it's like scoot over a little bit over. Can you see where you're at? Okay,
yeah, there we go.
I don't want to have your head cut in half, but so yeah, we have kind of the same. Jason from Hickory Hive's asking where you're located, and you're up in the New England area, right?
I'm in like northern Connecticut. Yeah, right on the Massachusetts border.
All right, yeah. So man, yeah, it is weird. I have a good number of bees dying, but that's just how it's gonna be. I'm not stressing. Some of my favorite ones are doing great. I didn't even check my other yards. My other yards always do much better than my home yard. So these warm-ups are good for me because my dead ones are just getting cleaned out. They're constantly, every time it's warm, they're feeding. So I'm not really worried about it. Let me see. Frank Pete lives in, that's how Connecticut, right? Just like that's how my memory is just totally shot. And I sent Pete some of my little clustered mountain mint. Is that growing for you? Did it root? Did it do anything?
As far as I haven't like checked much. We had so much rain though, so I'm kind of worried. I don't know how they are with like.
Yeah. Did you put a weight on top of it, like maybe a block or something?
So I didn't do that. That area I put it in, I keep like a leaf cover over it a little bit. So most of it is covered. I dug out a little bit too. So I don't know. We'll see. I didn't put a weight over it though. No.
Yeah, probably all that soaking rain is gonna help it, set roots pretty good. So I think the first year in the spring, you just gotta make sure you don't mow over it. But you might not get too much that first year, but by next year, oh man, it's gonna be a nice big patch. You'll see. It's like my favorite plant.
Yeah.
Favorite plant for the bees.
Cool. Yeah.
But I got to, while I was down there, I got to sit through have this person called Cameron, Dr. Cameron. I don't know if he's a doctor. I was like, want to make sure if somebody's a doctor, I gotta call him doctor because that's annoying. Cameron Jack, have you ever heard of that guy? Some type of bee researcher. I've heard of him a lot. He's pretty well known, but it was really annoyingly annoying to hear him talk about how he did a research project and he took 20 colonies and he treated them until until all the mites were down to 0, and then he just let them go, and he thought this was just a great idea. And then they slowly all died, or most of them died. But he never talked anything about like what were the source of the bees. He was also using illegal treatments on a couple other experiments he was doing. It was really the strangest thing. So what's cool is,
so what was the point of his, like, what was his, like, the point of his thing, his experiment?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Like, I think, as like the way I was saying earlier, all the researchers and all the people who were speaking just kept like regurgitating the same thing over and over again. So he would throw Randy Oliver's chart up on the screen, with the bee population going up and the mite population going up and down. He would just keep saying all the same things. And then I think ultimately the whole the point and the whole goal of everything is to keep everybody in that audience petrified and scared and treating their bees, because all these people are really just trying to keep us exactly where we're at. And he also talked about, he did a lot of the same goofball stuff, misrepresenting what treatment-free means, saying you can do queen caging and drone removal and all that stuff and still be treatment-free. That just pisses me off. Every time I hear that is one, like, but the cool thing is all these presentations are going to be released, like to watch them.
Yeah.
So then, oh man, I can't wait for those. I just can't wait to put them up here and just say everything I wanted to say. Say everything I wanted to scream out from the audience while he was talking. It should be pretty good. Let me see. Did I find any more treatment-free beekeepers at the thing? I don't know if that even came up, really. They're not I mean, I didn't really. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't remember asking anyone.
Announce yourself going down the hall. So.
Yeah. We just. Let me see. This name looks familiar. Michael Buck. Just found you, and so I'm in South Carolina, so keep your weather. South Carolina has strange inconsistencies in weather. I have dry sugar on 20 hives that are split in 60 miles. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. So down there, you're definitely not dealing with the winter. And even I can say we're not really dealing with the winter. It's just yucky. That's all I would describe it as. I would just describe it as uncomfortable. Let me see, who else did I get?
Weird year. That's it. But the your boy Paul Dawson contacted me on YouTube.
Oh, Paul, good old Paul.
Yeah, it's so funny.
For anybody who doesn't know who Paul Dawson is, if you wonder who Paul Dawson is, all you have to do is go into your YouTube search thing up at the top there at some point and just type in Paul Dosen, Dosen. Just type it in there and then hit enter, and then you can see what kind of a total stalker, total just annoying person Paul Dosen is. He's the only person that ever has the honor of being blocked on my channel, so he can't comment in here. He could be commenting every day, all day, but I won't be seeing it. I don't know where it is. He still emails me. Oh yeah, well he emailed me the other day. Let's see. It's this. That's page 1.
Oh my god.
The end is page 2. All kinds of he's just arguing the same arguments that I've absolutely demolished hundreds of times on here. Same old, like this weird kind of like when people play dumb about selection and evolution, and they just play dumb. Like, you treat your dogs right. Oh, if your kid gets sick, you're gonna treat. Like I've done that 1,000 times. It's old, or the old argument about if you don't do this, your neighbor.
Same argument. It's like the same argument of like there's no scientific research that it works. To me, that's what he kept saying to me, like that there's no proof out there. All the scientists agree that nothing works. and you're just portraying false information to people. I keep telling them, like, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I just do what I do, you know, and I'm not telling anyone I have proof of anything. I don't say I tell people my bees die every year, you know, like, not all my bees, you know, like last year I had bad survival and they had like 60% survival, and then some years I have better survival. So it's like I'm not saying anything worked or doesn't work. I'm just doing what I'm doing and beekeeping. And sometimes I take videos of me doing things, and that's it. I'm not. And he's like arguing with me, and I'm like, I don't care what your argument is.
Oh,
Like
he
I just
argued.
don't
Oh, he.
care.
Hey, what's up, Brad? It's Brad, right? From Cajun Homesteads here. Maybe special needs. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, he's very. It's kind of like a weird, a weird thing to say for me, but like, dude's really smart, but you can be really, really smart and intelligent and still have terrible arguments for something. You know, Paul, he's really smart. He's probably better than me in math and all kinds of other things, but when it comes to selection or just evolution, it's just so easy to understand. It's so beautifully simple, and there's so much. I can't even say there's so much evidence for it because it's everywhere around you. Every single thing that is alive is evidence of selection, selection for survival, unless humans are involved. That the only people that screw up selection constantly and for hundreds, even thousands of years, is humans getting in the way. So for someone like this goofball Paul Dozen to say, um, "Oh, one year I had a bunch of bees and I didn't treat them, so a bunch of them died, so it doesn't work." I've heard that 1,000 times. That's how that's how selection works. I don't even want to keep reiterating it. Like, so for me, I've I've always just kind of dabbled around with bees my first few years. I had one year where I had a ton die. I had 18 out of 20 die. That was in 2017. And then the very next year, I had 25 out of 25 live because of the two that I had left that I split and requeened up my swarms. So that's how selection worked. And then ever since those two weird outlier years where 80% died one year and then 100% lived the next year, I fall right into the mid 60s to low 70s% survival every single year. And maybe that's not good enough for some commercial beekeeper, but they're not the ones, or that might not be good enough for some, backyard serial killer type obsessed beekeeper, where everything's perfect and they have to meet a certain exact survival every year just to feel like they're important at their club. It may not be good enough for them, but it's good for me because I'm, in my opinion, and me and people that do things like me and everybody, thousands of people, they're actually making a difference in the gene, the genetic pool of bees, not treating beekeepers. But again, I'm not mad at you if you treat your bees. That's your business. I'm not here to tell people what to do.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
here
tried
to.
like, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah. It's
defend
like
what I
I
do.
tried telling him that like I'm not portraying anything to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't tell anyone what to do. I don't care what you do. And also this false sense of the word survival, like what that means, like
Right.
bees don't live forever, like there's nothing that live, like what do you expect your bees to live every single year? Like that's just
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
the case. It's not what happens in the wild. Like, it's just not, even if they like the queen usually swarm, and let's say you're preventing swarming, they're gonna swarm, unless you're actively preventing it. So like this word of survival is just like falsely thrown out there of, it usually is a cycle of 3 to 4 years around there, that I see, and then some years hey buddy, and then some years there's colonies that, the weak ones that don't make it, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know what he wants for proof. I don't know what he wants for me. I'm not anybody, so why he's coming at me and like
No,
saying
I
so.
seen
I
him.
don't care. Like I try to tell him, like I don't care about your argument.
For me, he just kind of gave me some content. Like he he's smarter than the average bear beekeeper out there. Like he has the intelligence, and he if the person he was talking to wasn't prepared for what he's saying, they could be bowled over and like probably feel like they were like defeated, but it's just not going to work for me. So it was it was fun for a little while, but then once he started saying like kind of culturally insulting type things for no reason, like I don't even know where the hell he's from. I just Canada. But I didn't call him any type of like slurs or anything, so I thought that was really weird. So I had to block him. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
He's weird.
Yeah, he's something. I mean, I would have him on. Like I would have him on and just like I've had him on my show. I've had him here I think twice, and I totally like had him stuttering. He couldn't even. He was ready, and I just blew him up. So I don't. I would do that to anybody though. Let me see. Do you find that your bees are more hygienic, or is it that they deal with mites or on a viral level better? Level, shit, I can't
I'll
even
be right
read.
back. I'm gonna put my kid down for a sec.
Yeah, that's fine.
Be right back.
So what Brad's asking is one of those things. Like first, I'll just say that it was another one of those things that a lot of people said. The speakers and people that were asking questions of the speakers, they would say, "Oh, well, it's not the mites that kill the bees. Oh, the mites are fine. It's the viruses." Like that's just the most regurgitated thing I hear over and over again. If it's just the viruses, then it really shouldn't matter. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If it's just the viruses, then stop talking about mites. Then we're talking about viruses. People are trying to lower mite levels, but it's too late. These mites already bit your bees. They're in there. They're in there. They bit everybody. So the virus is in there, whatever they have. So so the question, it's a fair question. I get it. Do I find that they're more hygienic? To tell you the truth, I don't know. When my inspector comes here every year, he will point out that there is some uncapping and capping going on, which is another regurgitated thing. It's regurgitated over and over again by all these researchers. Corey Stevens talking about the same shit over and over again, uncapping and recapping. Just everybody's talking about it. So I see that. I also hear my inspector say that he sees it, so he's just regurgitating it. He didn't find that. Like he didn't discover uncapping and recapping. But if uncapping and recapping is what hygienic means, then my bees do it. But I can't say that they do it more than anybody. They probably do it more than bees that are treated, because treated bees really they have much less of a reason to do any type of hygienic behavior, or even they have less of a reason to even try to stay alive because they're being kept alive. But that's the thing I don't get. Like people say, "Oh, my bees are hygienic." Plus, I also do oxalic acid 4 days apart, 7 times. Then I switch it up with Apivar. Then I go back and do a brood break. It's like they have 18 different treatments, and then they're still talking about hygienics. But I don't see how that. Where's the incentive for your bees to do anything when you're doing everything? And then the second part of the question, do they deal with the mites on a viral level better? I would say again, honestly, I do not know, because I don't. What do you say? I'm really have terrible vocabulary anymore as I get older, but I don't really mince things down that far. My bees either are going to live or they're going to die. If anybody wants to know about, say, the mite levels or the viral levels, they can come here and do that. But I'm never gonna like think about that so much. I know that this line of bees is from here. I've had them for this long. They're great bees. I can tell you things about them, but I'm never going to get down and dig that far, because for me, beekeeping is enjoyable. It's not It's not my science project. Not saying that you're implying that, but it's not like I don't want to get that far down into it. I mean, hopefully that answers that. What do you think about that, Pete? Brad's asking, how, how would you even begin to answer this? Because I'm not a bee scientist. I do know how. I'm very familiar with selective breeding and evolution, and but I don't do the sciencey stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's some colonies that I do see more like hygienic behavior, and I always thought that like that aided in survival, but from what I've seen past few years of me selecting for that stuff, I select for certain things when I do like grafts. So if I do cutouts and I see that they're more hygienic than others, I'll graft from that line. Um, but I see no difference in survival from before that. So because I see some colonies that have no hygienic behavior and just seem to be very tolerant. Where they just have huge mite loads, but they survive um, year to year. So which one is better, or which one is the way to go? I don't know. And really, the selection I use right now is strictly based on survival. Um, like looking for traits like that for me, if I'm not like in the business of bee breeding, it's just not worth it. I don't see any signs one way or the other of hygienic behavior working better than anything else.
Yeah, I mean,
Right now I strictly select. I like my colonies to stay small, so I like to keep them 5 frame stacks, like 5 frame on top of 5 frame. So I stick on I breed off colonies that keep the cluster much smaller. I don't like them exploding. I don't like full frames of brood. I don't like that. Um, to me, that's what creates a lot of issues when they turn all their food into brood. That gives brood issues, diseases, and they just don't store any honey. But I seem to have more success over the years of selecting for stuff like that, like colony size, when they explode, like when they start growing, like later spring. Um, what's the other thing? Um, so like little stuff like that. I stopped picking the hygienic and stuff like that. The
yes,
VSH and all that. Yeah,
yeah.
I
Like what you're saying, what I was saying right before, I think while you went to put your little one away to bed, um, I was saying how my inspector comes over and he'll pull frames and say, look at these uncapped cells. I remember 6 years ago when we saw uncapped cells, he would say, "Oh, that's because there's wax moth larvae digging behind the cell and it's killing the brood," and that's what he said then. But year after year, it started to get slowly changed to, "Oh, this might be hygienic behavior." But to me, it's the same exact thing. So I never really, I'm not really on top of hygienic behavior. I think bees, that's the bare minimum. They should be hygienic. Honeybees have always been hygienic bugs, just like ants are, just like termites are, just like any social insect. But the new kind of definition for hygienic is, do they uncap cells and pull out larvae? To be honest, I don't look for it. And the other thing you were saying about selecting for survival, it's the easiest thing to do. Like, the more things you select for, the more difficult it is for anything. Like if you have chickens and you want to select for, I don't know, a color of a chicken plus also um, the size of the egg plus also whether they can fly or not. Like you have 3 different selectors, you're going to be knocking your population from 1,000 chickens down really, really fast. Like chopping them all the way down because of multiple selecting criteria. For bees to select for survival, it doesn't get easier than that. Like who's alive to me, and that might be like that might be a little gotcha for some smarty pants, uh, beekeeping type. Oh well, selecting for survival, that's easy. Yeah, I'm admitting it's easy. I'm
Right.
just not crying about every one that dies. So I don't know if I should even call it selecting because the some live and some die. So it's not like I'm
But
picking.
yeah, it depends on what you're doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're grafting or like propagating.
yeah. Let me
Um,
see here. A couple good questions coming in really quick. Michael Buck had problems with robbing this year. Mistake from putting wet frames back on hive. Yeah, yeah. I don't do that. That's one of them things. That's one of those practices where it's very common, and a lot of people will suggest that on Facebook. Oh, what do I do with all these boxes? All these boxes of wet frames. Oh, just put them on top of your hive. I ain't doing that, man. What do you do? I'm not doing it because if it's not a dearth, they'll still clean it, but probably not that fast. But if it is a dearth, forget it. The whole yard's coming at whoever has wet boxes on top. I mean, in my experience.
yeah, I do put wet. So I don't. I try not to take honey out during dearth. So that's the first thing. So if there's a bad dearth going on, I'm not gonna. Too many bad experiences to
I
especially
try
with
to.
my small operation. It's just not worth the risk. So I only put wet boxes back on during a strong flow, and that's it.
All right, yeah. See, I try to get mine off. First, I'm not a big honey person. Like, I mean, my bees still have a bunch of honey, so I have to take it off. I don't extract it. I give it to somebody else, let them extract it, and then I just put it somewhere else, like as far away as I can. Let the bees clean it up. But I've seen other people put it on there, and oh look, and then all of a sudden you got your whole box is just covered in bees, and they're
Yeah,
breaking in every crack from everywhere, and then you're done. So yeah,
yeah.
just be careful with that. That's just one thing I wouldn't do. So Karen Eaton here has a good question. How are you determining that some bees are more hygienic? So maybe Karen's asking somebody else in the chat. Maybe like for asking Brad from Cajun Homestead, or whoever monitors hygiene in their bees. Because to be honest, I don't even hygiene doesn't really come into my radar. It's which bees are alive with zero help whatsoever. Like I don't care if they're not being fed, they're never being treated. So I don't care how they're alive or what they did, whether they had good hygiene, um, whether they're just totally resistant to viruses or whatever. Um, they have to be alive and they have to collect enough honey to stay alive through winter. Through cold winter with nothing. Like they get their ass beat, and are they still alive? I don't know about their hygiene. Um, we did do mite counts last year when the inspector was here, and let me see. And both of those are still alive. The ones that we counted. I do have a bunch that died, but the two that we counted um, are both still alive right now. I know right where they're at, but I don't think their counts were really high. I think one had like 11 or something like that. The other one had like and then the other one had just one, but that was because it had European foul brood, and it's still alive. So um, those are the only two mite counts I did.
I
Um,
think for me, like the how I know a colony is more hygienic is you'll know it when you see it. Pretty much. I have had a couple colonies that I did like cutouts on that were been around for couple of years. Um, that very like you'll see him taking out pupa. You'll see pupa in front of the hive. Um, you'll see looking at the brood pattern. You would notice um, that it's different than something that's the easiest way without actually doing like a test, like pulling brood and counting mites, like whatever that test is called.
Uh, um, oh, just like uncapping and just counting them. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
all. Are you talking about the ones that Stevens was
Yeah.
talking about? Corey Stevens.
Yeah.
What the heck is he talking about? Oh, he's talking about. I keep pulling the wrong side because my screen isn't mirrored, so I'm thinking this is the side. Oh God, I'm gonna be like that. Damn. Um, you're talking about what does he do? He does the Harbell
The
assay,
Harbo assay. Yeah.
another one. I mean,
To sit there
whatever.
with
Do
magnifying glass,
whatever.
picking up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna catch me doing that. Nope, nope. Have fun with that. Um, let's see. But if anybody wants to do it, they can just come right here. I'll give you my address. Come, but but I don't think that my bees are anything special from anybody else. I mean, I know that mine take everything that's they have to. They have to take everything that's handed to them and live, or they're going to be dead. And anybody can do that anywhere except maybe Alaska or freaking Canada or maybe some places. But anybody can do it. Their bees are going to be just as good as anyone's, probably better than mine. So my bees aren't special, but if somebody wanted to test them, they could. Let me see what this guy talking about. If Pete is keeping them at 5 frames, how do you keep from having too many colonies? Well, you have 5-frame equipment, but you stack them up, right?
Stack them. Yeah. Usually, I like to put them in the winter with two 5 frames on top of each other. But usually during the season, it's 3. And
Yeah, I
then
mean, I love 5 frames. I mean, I wish I had all. I wish I had like 7-frame boxes would be so perfect. Like if I could just have 100.
yeah,
Somebody send me like a couple hundred 7-frame boxes and lids and bottom boards, because 8 is like a little bit too big.
yeah,
10 is just I don't really like 10. I mean, I have a lot of 10-frame boxes. 5 is small. Maybe 6 frames. I don't know.
I have the 6-frame, the licensed ones.
Oh, the
I have a
styrofoam ones.
Yeah, I have a couple of those. This is the first year I tried them. They're nice through the year. Yeah. Both of them died though. So,
Oh, they did.
yeah. So that's no correlation. That could just
Yeah.
be. Yeah. But
Let me see. But yeah, I mean, I've had those, 4 high. But then for winter, I like 2, man. 2 is so perfect. A 5
yeah.
on top of 5,
Yeah.
it's perfect. And I even have one with a screen bottom board. I didn't realize it until a couple days ago. And I'm like reaching under, hefting the hives, and I'm like, wait, that feels weird. It's got a screen bottom board, wide open, no thin, no whatever we call that thing in there. I hate those things, but it's alive.
I did a
Michael Buck.
couple this year. I have a couple single 5 frames I'm trying to get through, and they're both still alive.
Yep. Yeah, singles do good too, as long as they're really heavy and not getting punished by the wind. They should do good. Michael Buck's bees seem to do better if you just leave them alone and let them be bees. Yeah, that's like my log. I think my log is going to do it again this year. Sometimes I look inside drone brood. Nah, it gets pulled apart when I spell my boxes. Still use my Jono Instavate. At times I have nothing going on. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I don't. But, So let me see if anybody else has anything. Karen Eaton, was there? Did we answer your question, or do you have anything else? Let me see. Pete, I did drop the link if anybody else wants to come in and chat for a little bit. It's getting close to my bedtime. So if no one has anything else, probably wrap it up here in a minute. Man, what was I gonna? Oh, I'll have to do that next time. But I do have a couple YouTube comments I could reply to. Another couple channels, that were doing treatment free. I gotta put the quotes on there. Definitions were dead wrong. Not treatment free beekeepers. And then when you try to just tell them, hey, sugar dusting, queen caging, all kinds of weird stuff it may not involve a caustic chemical, but it's still a treatment. So you're really not doing anything. And it kind of went back and forth. So I'd rather play parts of that video and then respond to the comments instead of just sitting in someone else's comment section typing for hours every day. Okay, well, looks like everybody calmed down. We did a nice little hour and 15 minutes here. So I'm going to wrap it up. Pete, thanks for coming in and keeping me company here.
Anytime.
Michael Buck, have a good one. Frank, see you later. What else we got? Karen Eaton, whoever else is here. Anybody up there in the bleeder seat, nosebleeds? Have a good night. Take it easy.
See ya.